It was supposed to be another golden September for Jungkook. September is the month ARMY always marks on their calendars. His birthday, his fan projects, his surprise live streams, his legendary interactions that break the internet every single year. In 2023, his birthday was marked by global landmarks lighting up in purple, while fans trended hashtags for days. In 2024, he celebrated with the golden era, still echoing across Spotify, making him the most streamed K-pop soloist in history. So what about 2025? This year, fans expected more than just birthday wishes. With the VMAs scheduled in early September, with global stages buzzing with K-pop nominations, many believed Jungkook would appear with a thunderous performance. His name, after all, is practically synonymous with showstopper. But instead, the world saw silence. The MTV VMAs came and went. BTS was mentioned, Jimin appeared in nominations, but Jungkook was nowhere in sight. Fans who stayed awake through time zones hoping for a glimpse of him were left shocked, disappointed, and confused. Then came FIFA celebrations later in the month, and once again, silence. No Dreamers, no Jungkook voice soaring across the stadiums, no global anthem moment. And so the whispers began. Was Jungkook deliberately stepping away? Was HYBE keeping him hidden? Or was something much larger unfolding behind the scenes? For ARMY, the VMA stage is sacred. BTS has a history of owning it. Their Dynamite performance in 2020 lit up the world and remains one of the most replayed stages in VMA history. And Jungkook, whether dancing effortlessly, hitting high notes, or stealing glances at the camera, has always been a centerpiece. In 2023, fans campaigned hard to see his solo work recognized. By 2024, he had already broken barriers by becoming the most streamed K-pop artist in the US, with 7 and 3D taking over global charts. If anyone deserved a slot at the VMAs 2025, it was him. Yet, when nominations were revealed, Jungkook's name was missing. Only Jimin was nominated in the K-pop category. Confusion turned into outrage. How could the most searched idol on YouTube for 5 consecutive years be ignored? How could the man who sold out arenas by himself, whose solo music charted in dozens of countries, be invisible on one of the biggest nights in music? Some fans pointed fingers at MTV itself, accusing the awards of bias or politics. Others turned their eyes to HYBE, wondering if the label was deliberately keeping Jungkook's profile low. One viral post summed it up. If Jungkook isn't here, it's not because he doesn't deserve it. It's because something bigger is coming. Mark my words. That something bigger quickly became the leading theory. But the VMAs weren't the only stage where his absence echoed. Rewind to 2022. Jungkook's Dreamers wasn't just a song, it was history. Performed live at the FIFA World Cup opening ceremony in Qatar, it became a moment replayed by billions around the globe. His voice, smooth yet powerful, carried a message of hope, unity, and dreams that transcended languages. For many outside the K-pop world, Dreamers was their introduction to Jungkook. It cemented him as not just an idol, but a global cultural figure. So when FIFA announced celebratory events in 2025, anticipation surged again. Fans began to speculate. Would Jungkook appear? Would Dreamers return as an anthem? Would he reclaim the stage he once owned? But no, there was no Jungkook. Instead, FIFA stages passed without the golden voice that once electrified them. Fans felt the silence as a sting. It was not just disappointment, it was mystery. Why would an artist with such global reach stay away? The answer may have already been whispered by Jungkook himself. On September 1st, 2025, Jungkook appeared live to celebrate his birthday with fans. The stream, casual and intimate, seemed normal at first. He smiled, laughed, showed his new piercings, and interacted warmly with ARMY. But beneath the lighthearted tone were hints of something deeper. Jungkook spoke openly about a recent security scare, a break-in attempt at his home. With quiet frustration, he asked fans not to approach his private residence. His words were firm, but also vulnerable. "Please don't come to my house. It's not safe for you, not for me." But then came the moment that made ARMY pause. "I want to focus on what really matters. You'll see it soon." What did he mean by what really matters? Why say soon? To many fans, it sounded like a message. The silence isn't random. He is saving his voice, his energy, and his presence for something bigger, something not yet revealed. By July 2025, HYEB had already shaken the world with an announcement. BTS will officially return in 2026 with a brand new album and a global tour. The news was historic. After years of waiting, after military service, after solo projects, after uncertainty, the seven will finally reunite. And this, perhaps, is the missing puzzle piece to Jungkook's silence. Why appear at the VMAs if the focus is about to shift back to BTS as a group? Why return to FIFA if the next big anthem might be part of BTS's global tour? Why exhaust himself on smaller stages when the biggest stage of all, BTS's comeback, is only months away? For Jungkook, it seems the strategy is clear. Step back now so that when the moment comes, he will return with full power. The calm before the storm. When the MTV VMAs aired, without Jungkook walking the carpet or taking the stage, the silence wasn't just noticed. It was deafening. Social media turned into a battlefield of emotions, with hashtags like, "Where is Jungkook?" "Jungkook deserves better," and "Trust Jungkook," flooding X and Weavers within hours. For ARMY, Jungkook is not just another idol. He's the symbol of resilience, the one who carried BTS's flag during the quietest years of the group's military service. To see him absent at a moment when his global dominance was undeniable felt like a heartbreak. Yet heartbreak quickly turned into unity. Two distinct waves of reaction emerged. First, the worried ARMYs. Some fans voiced genuine concern. They worried about Jungkook's mental health after his heartfelt birthday live, where he admitted feeling uncomfortable with fans crossing personal boundaries. To them, his silence was not strategic, it was protective, a shield against burnout. One viral fan post read, "Jungkook gave us his 20s. Maybe now he needs to breathe. If skipping the VMAs means he's healing, let him." Then, the hopeful ARMYs. Others, however, saw his absence as a chess move. They believed Jungkook was quietly preparing for the grandest stage of all, BTS's reunion in 2026. His silence in their eyes was not retreat, but anticipation. Another fan comment with over 200,000 likes stated, "If Jungkook is quiet, it means he's building something bigger than any award stage. 2026 will be his loudest roar." This emotional divide didn't tear the fandom apart. It made the conversation even louder. Every speculation, every theory, every rumor added fuel to the fire of anticipation. It wasn't just fans. Major global outlets picked up on Jungkook's absence. Rolling Stone, Billboard, and even sports networks that once celebrated dreamers began asking, "Where is Jungkook?" Some framed it as a career slowdown. Others suggested it was HYEB's calculated decision to keep him in the shadows until the group's full reunion. But the most intriguing analysis came from a Korean entertainment columnist who wrote, "Jungkook is the ace. You don't waste your ace on side stages when the final match is coming." BTS's 2026 comeback will be the Super Bowl of K-pop, and Jungkook is the quarterback. The metaphor spread like wildfire, shared across fan pages, news sites, and YouTube commentary channels. For the first time, silence felt like a strategy, one that ARMY could rally behind. To truly understand the weight of Jungkook's absence in 2025,
one must remember his presence in 2023 and 2024. Back then, Jungkook was everywhere. His single, 7, dominated Billboard charts. Golden became one of the most streamed K-pop albums in Spotify history. He collaborated with global artists, performed on American talk shows, and made headlines at nearly every award ceremony. He wasn't just a member of BTS, he was a solo phenomenon, a cultural force that carried K-pop deeper into the mainstream. Now, in September 2025, the contrast couldn't be sharper. The man who once performed for billions at the FIFA World Cup was suddenly missing from even the most expected stages. It was as though the world had adjusted to his brilliance and now felt his absence like a missing son. But here's the paradox. Instead of fading, Jungkook's absence only made him trend more. Every day he didn't appear, fans spoke about him louder. Every stage he skipped turned into headlines. Every silence became a question. And this, perhaps, was the point. The strategy of withholding Jungkook from smaller stages might be HYEB's most genius move yet. By keeping him away, they only increased demand. By silencing him, they amplified his voice. By hiding him, they made the world desperate to see him again. The chess game was in motion, and Jungkook, knowingly or not, was at the center of it. Behind the tears, debates, and theories, there is one truth all fans agree on. Jungkook's absence isn't forever. Every day without him is a countdown. Every silence is a signal. Every skipped stage is a hint that something larger is brewing. 2026 is no longer just a year on the calendar. It is a promise, and Jungkook's silence may be the loudest drumbeat leading us towards it.